Hey guys, Chris here today, coming with a little different kind of video. Instead of reviewing like an album or energy drink, I figured I should, review my car. So, it's a 2008 Honda Accord, base model. The only option on this thing was, what was the automatic transmission? And it kind of shows. Actually, I shouldn't say that because it's a good car, but pretty standard interior for 2008. Back seat. I took the headrests off just so I can improve visibility a little. But I'll give this thing a nice start, and I'll put this right here. Let's see. I just don't want to, because I filmed another, I already filmed like a review of this car today, but, my gosh, I filmed it I filmed it from the inside of the glove box, so it was sideways, so like when I watched the video, like it would be like flipped really terribly, but whatever. Yeah, I'll start this thing up, and, yeah. It's a nice day. I would roll the windows down, but it would make a lot of noise. Pretty nice exhaust note always from this car. Yeah, automatic transmission, 5-speed automatic. Pretty good, pretty rare actually, because 5-speed automatics, they were kind of come and go, honestly. It was kind of like a trend of the late 2000s, because for a long time it was all about 4-speed ones, and then 6-speed ones came along, but 5-speed automatic. Oh no. There we go. That's a little better. That probably won't fall down. Move myself up just a little, just so you guys better. Yeah, no, anyway, so it's just kind of rare. It's a good transmission though. And interesting thing about this car is it was made during really just the last period of like old types of ways of making cars. Like it's not really super traditional. Like it's not rear wheel drive, it's not rear wheel drive. It's not body on frame chassis. It's pretty like modern, but it's not at the same time. Like most modern cars will have the shifter where like it's easy to go into like a sport mode, right? So you got your park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then little plus and minus arrows for easy upshifting or downshifting. And this thing you can control the up the third gear in, but it's different because it's not so much like a sport mode, but rather like a gear limiting mode, if that makes any sense. Like it goes park, reverse, neutral, drive, 3, 2, 1. So when you put it into 1, that basically keeps it in first gear. Even if you floor, you're gonna stay in first gear. And if you put it up to 2, you have first and second gear, and into 3 you have first, second, and third gear. But it would top out, at the end of third. And obviously drive, you get all 5 gears. But it's like, it's not really made for like the modern, sportiness of driving or whatever, I guess. Because automakers like to make it so that their cars feel a little sporty. I don't really like this anymore. Just move it up a little bit. There we go. That should be a little bit better. I hope it sticks though. If it slides again, I'm just gonna let it slide. But yeah, this car was really just kind of, it's also pretty easy to see. Like it doesn't have a touch screen, it's knobs and dials. You got your volume knob, your tuning knob, and strangely enough, you have like skipping buttons, which is basically the same thing that the tuning knob does. CD, AM, FM radio. You get an aux cord, which is okay for 2008. No Bluetooth. I don't care, because old Bluetooth is terrible. Like, even in my parents' 2013 Honda Odyssey, which is, minivan, even that's got terrible Bluetooth, and it's 5 years newer than this thing. So I can only imagine. It's going like this. It's not going to fall like that. I could only imagine how terrible it would be in this car if it had Bluetooth. But it's a good car. It's not super fast, but it can go. You know, I'd say it takes maybe around 8 seconds to get to 60. And then once you're past 60, it's really just kind of a linear power delivery. Like, it'll just all feel the same kind of. I don't know what its 60 to 100 time is or whatever, but it does pretty good. Last year, before I owned it, I raced someone with an Infinity, and I completely lost by a long shot. So that just kind of gives you an idea of how slow this thing is. But again, it can move. And just the story about this car. My parents bought it new in 2008, and it was my mom's car for a long time. And then we got that new Odyssey in 2013. And that kind of became her car, more or less. And then after a while, this thing just kind of was used by my dad and me. Once I got my license, like, I could use it. It wasn't my car though. And then this summer, back in July, I finally bought it off my parents for $2,000. And I think that's a pretty good price for this car, because they usually go for around like $7,000 nowadays. And you know, that's kind of expensive, so I got a pretty good price on this. Plus, you know, it was for my parents, so they're reasonable about it. Oh man, I want to show you guys how it sounds when it gets higher up RPM. And right now I'm on like kind of a semi-highway, so it's not, you won't get to see the dramatic change in RPM. But this thing can move. Like right now, I'm going from about 60, and now I'm at 90. So it's an okay speed, or an okay amount of power. The question is though, do I wanna? Yeah, I think I'll take the back road. So this is a nice car, and it has its faults. It drinks oil. Its brakes have always been kind of weird. I remember a few years ago, I was maybe a freshman in high school. This car, it would do this weird thing where so when you're in drive, obviously automatic car, the car kind of creeps along at most like 5 miles an hour. But this thing would, like, even if your foot was on the brake in drive, it would like stutter kind of. It would like do little tiny creeps. It was weird, but we got that fixed. And then in April, I wish I could say it was last year, but in April of this year, I snapped the half shaft on this car because before it was mine, I just used to beat the shit out of this thing. This poor little car. And we had to get new half shafts. What else happened to this thing? It's cam gear. No, not cam gear. Crankshaft. No, don't tell me. Or how could you tell me? You're watching the video. The some kind of chain. Not I forget what it's called, but it was some kind of chain. And actually, most cars nowadays don't use timing chain. Most cars use a timing belt, but this thing has a timing chain. So the oil is running low, and because of this thing's oil pan, and because it's a VTEC, it'll naturally just drink a little more oil. And the way the oil pan was designed, like if the oil starts running low, this was kind of a design flaw, but if the oil starts running low, like when you turn the car, it'll like expose other areas so that it doesn't that oil isn't reaching them, if that makes any sense. But it's not a lot. You know, it's a family sedan, but Honda really knows how to just add a little sporty touch. I think I'll demonstrate the gear locking. Like right now, I put it down into 2, so that means my top gear is only second gear, and you can hear the RPMs climbing even though I'm only going 40 miles an hour. If this guy could go a little faster, I'd get a little spinning a little bit higher. Hear that? Yeah. I don't know. I drive this thing and drive though. I don't like I don't put it into manual mode much. I shouldn't even call it manual mode because it's like you can't go from like 1 to 3 or vice versa. Like you have to go from 1 to 2 to 3. So I guess it's more like a sequential manual, you know, if you want to call it. Or it's definitely not a sequential manual, but it's more like that than an actual normal manual. But yeah, I love this car. Like it's really boring, and I tried to make it mine a little by taking off the hubcaps, and that didn't work. If you wanna, or I mean, it worked. I eventually got them off, but one of the lugs was stripped on, as me and my friend found out, and then the other one was stripped on as well. But we had the shop replace the lugs anyway, so. And if you want to learn more about my struggles removing the hubcaps, watch my Killing Time at Work videos from like July when I was still with Blue Raven, because I talked about it in one of those, I think. But I'd love to modify or get like an aftermarket suspension on this thing just so I can chuck it around a little more without the fear of the half shaft snapping again. And that's really all I want to do. Like, I wanted to straight pipe it, but underside is completely rusted out from all these Illinois winters, a bunch of salt and crap. But maybe it's better that way because I don't know. It could get you in trouble. It could, throw diagnostic codes all over the place because it's like, oh, there's a hole in the exhaust, so the computer thinks it's, the car's about to blow up or something. I don't know. But yeah, I really like this car, and it's nice. It's only got 94,000 miles on it, so it's got a lot of life left in it. I'm gonna be driving it for years to come, and I don't know. It's just I really wish it was. I mean, sometimes I wish it was more exciting, but I don't know. Sometimes it's better because I think other people like this car more than I do, because I am in it every single day, and not everyone's car. Actually, a lot of my friends have two-door cars, surprisingly. So when people get into this thing, they're like, oh, it's so big and comfortable, and I kind of take it for granted. But as a matter of fact, actually, this car's dimension, or just size, actually qualified it to be as a large car back in 2008, because you had mid-size sedans and then large sedans or something, and it actually met that category. And it's not even that huge. It's not a big car. It's a pretty normal sized car, but it's just the inside of it is so nice and big. You got a lot of legroom even in the back. But next stoplight, I think I'm gonna cut this video off because it's like 14 minutes, and it's getting really hot in this car, so I'm gonna need to roll down a window soon. But very, very good machine. I'm really glad it doesn't have a touchscreen, because I hate touchscreens in cars. Like, granted, I deal with one every day, on my phone, but like, I could not deal with it in a car. Like, to turn on the heat, I don't want to have to be like, I want to be like, crank something, and that's what I have in this. Oh, train, what do you know? So I guess that's just why I'm going to cut this video off with the train stop. That dude had a good idea of turning. Maybe I should have done that. Yeah, so, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't know what I'll be reviewing next, but it'll probably be sometime soon, so see you guys.